Khmelnitsky. I'm an international chess master, a coach with 30+ years of experience, and a writer. I got several books on my credit. So what I came up with for my students, and even those who are not my student but just want to improve, no matter if they're a leisure player or competitor, I put my most important tests into a book format, thereby enabling people, instead of spending thousands of dollars on lessons, just buy a book for $25 and get a complete assessment of the knowledge base. Now this shows you this book. This is my chess exam book, published in 2004, and it won a Kramer Award for Best Chess Book from Chess Journalist of America, and to date it's been translated in Italian, Russian, and French languages. What you basically get there is this is a table of constants. You basically get 10 tests, each has 10 questions. Then you calculate your ratings, and then on top of that, you have a training guide section that spans out of around another 60-some pages. For each of the areas that I'm testing, I give a decent information on how the student can work to improve, right? So here's an example of a question. You start with the diagram, which is a snapshot from a game or an exercise. Then you get a question, how do you evaluate position, and then you got a move option. Why two questions? Because A, you need to be able to evaluate position correctly, and B, you need to be able to find the correct move. One without the other does not give you full credit. Once you're done, you can turn immediately on the next page, not go to the end of the book, but right on the next page. You can then compare your answers and your thoughts, more importantly, with my thinking process, and then you get scores assigned. When you done with the complete test, you will be able to see this kind of a rating chart, where you will have your overall rating and then several critical categories highlighted. And basically then you go into training section, and it will take each of the subcategories. In this example it would be attack, and it would, in 3 to 4 pages, it would outline the most critical elements, give you a couple of examples based on my own games, that this one happened to end in this really pretty position, and then gives you training recommendation by rating level. So the class C players will get one set of recommendations, experts and high will get a slightly different set of recommendations. Now basically, if this is where you can stop, because your goal was just to find a way to improve, and you are do-it-yourselfer, you can just take my book and, so to speak, run with it. Alright, some people might decide they want to get you want to get my feedback, get my input on their results and some personalized recommendations. So for those, by the way, I have a tool that makes calculations of the ratings easier. The demo version is free, and you populate this section, then you store your selections for each of the 100 questions, and then basically it produces this nifty summary, kind of matching what you saw in the book. Many of the categories are not shown. You can see the overall rating for that particular student, J. he scored 517 points, and his rating was about 1636. Alright, if Jay wanted to get my input, you know, I'll provide him with a password, and all he does is puts it here, and then he gets the complete rating report. Once again, he could do it himself just using my book. He doesn't need this stuff. But if he wants to submit his result to me, I give him password. If those who don't want to submit their scores and get my assessment can get it for a nominal fee of $4.95, and oftentimes it's actually free, depending on the specials that I'm running, etc. So basically, once I get this student's results, what do? I look at it and I say, well, his overall rating is 1640. But hey, look, on defense, he's 150 points below his average. So that's one of his weaknesses. You know. And then I look at it in the middle game, he's 1815, clearly better than average of his rating. But end game is weak, etc. So once I look at this, and again, for this, you can get it out of the book. You get the same result, and you can identify your weaknesses. Then you would go back to the book, and let's say endgame was your problem. Then you would go to the section on the endgame here. You would find it. You would read instructions and recommendation, and basically you can do it. However, those who submit the results to me, I will be able to look and do some additional reporting. For example, you can see that endgame for this particular student, Jake, was a second weakest of his areas, and standard position, which is also part of the game, endgame, was the first one. So then I go on this pivot table and I select endgame, and while in overall you can see 1458, you can see that attack is actually pretty good. It's the counter attack in the endgame that is his weakness, at least from the knowledge base. Calculation is a weakness, but the most weakness is a tactic. So what I would do in this case is, and it's hard to see from this initial summary, unfortunately, but the additional analysis I do, I can pinpoint this and I can supply him with either a book recommendation or a bunch of exercises that he could do to try to improve this. So back to our chart. Thank you. I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.